Okay, so I'm going to show you how to make some bouncing bats or bouncing spiders. They're quite simple, and all you need for this one is a sheet of plain black card, a ruler, some scissors, either sticky eyes or boggly eyes, and if you're making the spiders you're going to need wool. For both you'll also need a little bit of shearing elastic to go on top. So each of these balls have been made out of strips of cardboard. And what I've done is I have measured 1.5 centimetres for each one. Now I'm not going to measure it because I've already done this earlier. I don't know if you can see my pencil marks, but I have drawn strips at 1.5 centimetres all the way down. I've then also, for ease, I've just put a piece of double-sided sticky tape that will help me stick them together. This isn't necessary, you can just use glue. I just found that it would be easier with the double-sided tape. So I'm going to cut these strips down, all the way down, so they're all individual. Now I've measured enough strips to make both the bat and the spider, but I'm actually only going to cut enough for one of them for this demonstration. Okay, what I'm also going to do, going to fold them in half to find a central point. The reason I'm going to do that is because I want to glue at the central points so that I can create some crosses. This will just make life so much easier than trying to glue all the strips together at once and not having enough fingers and thumbs. Okay. So I've got 4 crosses. With my double-sided tape, I'm going to peel off, she says, so I can stick the first cylindrical shape, peel off the second one, and I might just put a little bit of glue on the top of that so it holds that together there. So that sits down there. So we've got the starts of our sphere coming. Now with the next one, I'm going to glue across again, but this time I'm going to do it across diagonally. So the cross is coming between the sections of what we created last time. Okay. Another little bit of glue to hold them in position, and then peel my double-sided tape to stick them. Ooh. Double-sided tape doesn't want to come unstuck. Okay. That one sits across there. Again, just another little bit of glue to hold it all in position. And then the last point is obviously peeling this double-sided tape, stick it on top. So give it a good squeeze. Don't want to fold these, but give it a good squeeze to make sure everything has a point of contact. Now we have the body of either our spider or our bat. In order to create the spider, all I did was cut 4 strips of wool, 2 for each side, and I fed them through one of these strips and I just tied them in a knot. I then put little sticky eyes on, again they can be boggly eyes, and then I would just put a stapler in there with a piece of the shearing elastic so it can staple on and it will bounce up and down. Now for the bat, I have another little template which will actually fit right the way across a piece of A4 card. So at the moment I'm just going to draw around that. Okay, so this template has allowed for little fold over sections, about 1 centimetre to fold backwards when you've cut it out. I'll do that quickly now. Nearly there. It could be that you fold the piece of cardboard in half and just draw the template on one side so you can cut the left and right wing out at the same time. It's entirely up to you, whatever suits you best. What I'm then going to do, you'll notice I've folded over about 1 centimetre on each wing. And then I'm going to again use just a small piece of double-sided tape. Which I'm going to stick along the folded edge. Which can then be peeled away. I've lost my, okay. And that can just be fed through and stuck centrally either side. So we've got one wing on there. I'm going to pop the other wing on this one. So it folds back on itself. So we're starting to get a flappy bat. Right. Again, just for ease, because I haven't got time to put all the glue on and secure them properly, I'm just using the sticky eyes that we have at Little Angels rather than bobbly eyes, but again you can use whatever you want. This one down here obviously had the bobbly eyes. You've got bouncing bats. Obviously, like the spider, you would also staple a piece of shearing elastic on top so that they can fly around. Okay, so another paper cutting exercise, very similar to what many of you will know as snowflakes. We're going to create our own spider's webs. Now, normally you would use a square piece of paper so we get the circular shape, but it's not necessary. I've got some black sheets of paper which are roughly A4 size, and what we're going to do is we're just going to put folds in. So I'm folding the top edge to the bottom edge, so it's equal, top to bottom edge. I'm going to fold this back over again, so the page is now in quarters. Again, matching the top edge to the bottom edge, or what would have been the left edge to the right edge. Now I've folded that twice. I need to fold it 4 times at least to make sure that we get the spider's web shape. So I'm going to fold over again. Now the key thing here is that we're all folding to the point at the end. Now, because the paper is not equal on all sides, this time I'm going to fold it over in the opposite direction. We're still folding 4 times and we're still folding from the centre, but the reason I'm doing it is you may notice the paper gets shorter here and even shorter here. Okay. Now what I want to do is I want to create the spider's web shape. So basically I'm ultimately cutting only to this edge. We don't need to cut, in fact we don't want to cut on the fold at all. What I'm going to do is I'm cutting parallel to the folded edge. I'm leaving maybe 1/2 centimetre. When I get so far up, I'm going to cut that section out. So I've cut a triangular section out. Now I didn't start at the tip where the fold was, I started further down. Okay, so we've still got this point of contact here, this fold here. I'm going to cut some more sections in exactly the same way. They don't have to be cut perfectly. You could even cut them with wobbly scissors if you've got some at home. I'm going to cut this into about 3 or 4 sections. I've taken one section, kept a bit in between, cut another section, keeping another bit in between, again not cutting to my fold, and cutting that section away. Now on this last one, I'm obviously very close to this top edge. So I'm going to cut up and I'm going to cut to the edge of that paper because this was where it was finishing. So you're actually going to end up with some excess paper. What you should end up with, it's a little bit like a number 4. Okay. As I open that up, you will see how your spider's web is beginning to emerge. And what's really nice is the folds almost give it even more of a spider's web feel. So you could just blue tack it to your wall from the centre, or you can attach the blue tack all the way around. Now I don't have any little glow-in-the-dark spiders or little toy spiders, but what might be really nice is to stick a little spider running across the spider's web as well. Okay, so this is a craft probably more for the slightly older members of the group or even their siblings who are off school during half term. All I've used is a balloon, some rice and a marker pen. And the idea is that we, got a hole in it, that we create these little stretchy stress ball monsters. Okay, so very, very simply, normal balloon, I'm going to give it a bit of a blow to give it a bit of a stretch first. Excuse me. Okay, now this is tricky because you've got to use a marker pen to draw a face on. And I found it really hard. I used a Sharpie yesterday and I really struggled because my Sharpie was a little well used. So I'm drawing 2 triangles for the eyes with some little raised eyebrows, and I'm just going to do a wibbly wobbly mouth and hope that I've kept it straight enough. Okay, so you can see the little face that is appearing. Now, you may be able to see it a little bit better now. Okay, so the idea is you need to fill the balloon with rice. Now, the ideal thing would be that you have a funnel. I couldn't find one, so I've had to create one out of paper and sellotape. So this may not be quite as easy to get in as we might hope. It can be any sort of rice. I've just bought some risotto rice purely because I made risotto for the family and they weren't very interested or particularly liking it, so I don't think we will be making it again, hence me using the risotto rice for this one. Okay. This one's a little bit chunkier than normal rice, but takes a little bit of time, just need to keep encouraging it through. I'm throwing it everywhere. Church is going to love me. Right, now when it's nearly full, or when it feels nearly full, I'm going to give the balloon another little blow, purely to help stretch the balloon, but also to allow it to form a little bit more around the rice so it's more compact. I'm going to fill a little bit more. And what we're really aiming is ideally for the round bulbous bit of the balloon at the bottom to be completely full. That should be enough this time, I think. I think I've actually overfilled it a little bit, so give it a little blow and it's gone down a little bit more. And what I'm going to do then is I'm making sure all the air is out. I'm just going to tie it. I've tied it so there's a little bit of room for the rice to move around. The idea is we've created a stress type ball that you can make funny, gruesome faces with.